Greetings to everyone. Today, let us enrich our wisdom and deepen the knowledge of the essence of life. Our goal is to journey toward the core of global peace and the essence of our existence. When we turn inward against the stream and awaken within, we see that everything external is not truly us. As the essence of life within us awakens, we will understand the ultimate truth of everything in this world, what we truly are. We will realize the truth that we are the essence of life, formless, neither coming nor going, neither born nor dying, neither dark nor light. We are an essence that is empty, clear, and profoundly pure, the primordial essence. This essence is so clear that it merges seamlessly with the entire universe. We are this very essence itself. The essence of our life lacks only one thing, the knowledge of wisdom. Let me clarify this in simple terms using this language. Allow me to use the word we to represent the essence of life. While in truth, the essence of life has no we, I'll use this term briefly for clarity. We are a pure essence, yet we remain unaware of this truth. We are the pure essence of life, profoundly clear and interconnected with the vastness of existence, but we do not realize it. The ignorance of not knowing that the essence of life is us leads to a need to learn who we truly are. Let me express this clearly in human language, though the language I use here is not truly us. The words being spoken are merely expressions, tools used for communication. We are not these sounds. In fact, these sounds are not even truly sounds. They are merely vibrations resonating within. These vibrations are not us either. We are the essence of life, profoundly clear and pure. We are the essence of life that is formless. To put it this way, we do not even know how we came into being. This too is something we do not know, how we were born, what we are seeking. Many of us have asked questions such as, what do we truly want? What is our purpose in being born? Deep inside, there is a feeling that what we have been pursuing is not truly what we desire. Whether we have houses, cars, land, wealth, possessions, spouses, children, parents, or everything else imaginable, there remains a deep inner sense that none of this is what we truly seek. There is something else, something profound that we long for. Have any of us ever felt this way, not knowing why we were born, surrounded by nothing but ignorance? That is why we come to learn everything, trying to be everything. We try having immense wealth, but it still isn't what we truly desire. Even if we were the richest person in the world, we would still suffer as before. Imagine we pursued education, studying everything there is to learn on this planet. We studied all the disciplines humanity has ever known, earning 80 doctorate degrees, yet we would still find ourselves suffering, with a deep inner feeling that it still isn't what we truly seek. Even as we age and face illness, all the knowledge we have accumulated cannot stop us from growing old or cure us from sickness. In the end, this body still deteriorates and dies. And so we become entangled in the turmoil of dealing with this body, its pain, its aging, its inevitable death. The point is, why were we born? Why do we have to inhabit this body? Have we ever asked ourselves these questions? We know this body was born to age. It is certain to grow old, to become ill, and eventually to die. But sometimes this body doesn't even last that long. Some bodies live only a month before they die. Some last a year, 20 years, and then they're gone. This body is always ready to die at any moment. This is the truth. Can we accept this truth? We live in this body and believe it is ours, don't we? We are convinced that it is our body. But if it were truly ours, why can't we command it not to age, not to get sick, not to die? It breathes on its own, doesn't it? The heart beats on its own, right? The food we eat is digested on its own, and the body takes care of everything by itself, even excreting waste. In truth, this body does not belong to anyone. It is like a vessel that our essence of life inhabits, much like a robot we temporarily reside in. We are merely guests living within it. This analogy helps illustrate the reality of our relationship with this body. We are the essence of life that has no form. We are the primordial element, the original essence, pure and profoundly clear. This essence is so clear, so pure, that it precedes the existence of the entire universe. Let us try to erase the entire universe, remove the darkness, the light, the stars, the sun, the black holes, erase them all. Erase every particle of dust. Erase everything until nothing remains. What is left is something clear and pure, the original essence. This essence contains absolutely nothing within it, only clarity and purity. In this essence, there is no time and there is no distance. This is who we are. We are this original, timeless, formless, and boundless essence. On the day I turned against the current and came to know within, I saw the truth of all these phenomena we inhabit. They are not us. I saw that the voice speaking is not us, and even this voice is not truly a voice. Mental images are not mental images. Emotions are not emotions. Even the awareness itself is not truly awareness. All of these are merely movements and vibrations occurring on the outer layers. They are not us. When seen in this way, the essence of life within awakens. It sees that these phenomena are not who we are. The words being spoken now are not spoken by us. They are simply something that vibrates naturally on its own. When it awakens and sees this truth, it breaks away. When the essence of my life detached from these phenomena, it completely severed from them. It became clear that we are not a person, and we have never had a form. There is no language to describe this as being us. In this natural state, there is no self present, and yet it is us. Let's put it this way. We are something profoundly clear and pure, the primordial essence. We are the origin of life, the core essence, the essence of existence itself. This is what we are. When it breaks free, when realization dawns, tears may flow. There is an overwhelming feeling of wanting to tell humanity, what have we been so deluded by? There is nothing here that is truly us. Nothing truly has a self or an essence of its own. I deeply wish to proclaim this truth to everyone because I no longer have any doubt. I have created recordings filled with content that points us toward understanding the essence of life, universal truths that transcend suffering, the essence of global peace, the core of life itself. I have made these teachings clearer, without aligning with any specific religion. These messages are for everyone, children, the elderly, the disabled, women, men, all genders, all ages, all classes, all statuses, all beliefs, all religions, everyone on this planet, in every country. Everyone can listen. This is the one knowledge that is not divided by anything. The essence of life, or the life element, is something we all possess, yet none of us truly learn about it. Instead, we focus on learning external knowledge. Even if we earn 80 doctorate degrees, in the end, we still die. This body is destined to die. There is no doubt about that. But where do we go after that? Do you know? Our essence of life has never been born, and it has never died. As long as the essence of life does not realize what it truly is, as long as we do not awaken to the truth that we are a profoundly pure, empty and clear essence, as long as we remain unaware of this truth, we will continue to depend on external things to learn. As long as we keep seeking knowledge outside ourselves, the essence of life will continue to take residence in new bodies. When this body dies, the essence of life will move on to inhabit another body, repeating the cycle. If, at that moment, there are fish laying eggs, we could find ourselves within those eggs, being reborn as a fish, a squid, a shrimp, or a crab. We might be reborn as aquatic creatures and continue to cycle through such lives for an extensive period, changing countless forms without end. With one body, we might be eaten, then reborn into another, only to be eaten again. Sometimes we eat others, sometimes they eat us. This cycle repeats endlessly as we exist in the realm of aquatic life, living solely to seek sustenance, undergoing millions of transformations. At times we may take the form of creatures living underground, changing countless bodies there. We might transform into land animals or winged creatures. It takes an incredibly long and arduous journey through innumerable lives and forms before finally attaining a human existence. Understanding this is crucial. It reflects the profound and intricate nature of life's cycle. Do you know that if in a single day you listen deeply to my teachings and your life essence awakens, it will break free from these conditions? It will be released from this body, from sounds, mental images, emotions, and sensations of awareness. It will completely transcend these states, leaving only a pure essence untouched by words. When you awaken and realize this, the mind will become radiantly bright, as if everything is illuminated. You will see and know everything clearly. Some may perceive their past lives, understand what others are thinking, or even discern the nature of another's mind. Some may glimpse the future, seeing what lies ahead for themselves or others. This clarity may arise for some, while others may not experience it. However, these are merely phenomena, distractions to be acknowledged but not dwelled upon. It is far better to let them pass and continue on the path. The essence of this knowledge is unique. It is a truth no one teaches. Despite living all these years, we have never learned the essence of life itself. What is the true nature of our life essence? Deep down, it seeks to understand itself, who we truly are, what we are, how we came to exist, and what we truly desire. Why do we experience life in countless forms? What is the purpose of all this? We are born only to become servants, servants to the body, to thoughts, mental images, emotions, money, and the world. It feels as if we are trapped, confined within the body, imprisoned by thoughts and emotions, and bound by the world. Life cycles through birth and death repeatedly, seemingly without end. Yet the life essence itself is untouched. It has never truly become anything. It simply resides temporarily in a vessel. When this vessel perishes, the life essence remains unscathed. It merely moves to a new vessel, continuing its journey to understand what it truly is. Yet when the life essence resides in various vessels, everyone in this world teaches only how to think, remember, survive, find a spouse, have children, and build families to propagate the lineage. No one ever teaches us that we are the life essence, empty, clear, and profoundly pure. This body is not ours. The voice you hear speaking now, even this is not our voice. It is merely a conditioned manifestation. The thoughts forming in the mind are simply natural occurrences, not truly ours. The mental images we imagine, the emotions we feel, these too are not ours. Even the awareness of knowing is not our own. All of these are just natural phenomena, arising and subsiding on their own. Can you see it? Thoughts arise on their own. Imaginings and emotions of satisfaction or dissatisfaction come and go by themselves. These occurrences are independent of us. They appear and disappear naturally. If someone had taught this to us long ago, we might have realized our life essence much sooner. But no one teaches this. That is why I created these teachings on the essence of life, to serve as a legacy for this world. Whoever listens to my teachings on the essence of life will transcend this world and will not return to be reborn again. You will come to understand the truth that nothing in this world truly belongs to us or is us. The earth is not ours, the water is not ours, and this world itself is not ours. One day, this world will crumble and dissolve. Even this body is not truly ours. It is merely a vessel temporarily inhabited by our life essence to facilitate self-discovery. This body, too, will eventually break apart and cease to exist. Before that happens, we must come to know the essence of life. If we fail to do so, and the body perishes or something happens, before we attain this understanding, our life essence will drift, seeking a new vessel to inhabit. It will be reborn, most often as an animal, continuing the cycle of existence. To be born into a human body is incredibly rare, an immense privilege. We are fortunate to have attained this human existence. Now is the time to understand your life essence and to turn inward. Stop focusing on learning about the external world. We have spent our entire lives and countless lifetimes learning about the outside, yet we have never truly learned about the inside. Turn your attention inward. This world never teaches us to look within, and so we are lost in the chaos of external learning, entangled in suffering. We struggle in a world driven by fabrications of the mind, thinking and overthinking until we succumb to stress, anxiety, migraines, depression, blocked arteries, strokes, high blood pressure, diabetes, and even cancer. We develop countless ailments because we think and think until we are consumed by tension. This life has created thoughts, mental images, emotions, and sensations of awareness to be tools for fabrication, for learning both outwardly and inwardly. Yet no one has ever guided us to truly turn inward. As a result, we remain preoccupied with external knowledge, neglecting the inner journey. So, we rely on this tool, the tool we call thought. The voice I'm speaking with right now is thought. We depend on the inner voice that constantly speaks in our minds, repeating the same things over and over. It tells us, when will I become rich? When will I recover from this illness? What should I do to have more money? How can I pay off all my debts? I'm so stressed. I'm so tired. I'm so frustrated. When will I finally get rich? When will my business make a profit? Why don't I ever make any profit? Why are there so few customers? If it's like this, I won't have any money. What will I eat? How will I survive? We think and think endlessly, spiraling into stress, losing clarity, and breaking under the weight of our thoughts. This cycle leads to nervous disorders, insomnia, and a host of physical and mental illnesses. We do not realize that these thoughts are not truly ours. We do not understand that we are the life essence, empty, clear, and pure. This world is like a grand stage, like a dream. Do you know that when we sleep and dream, we dream of having this body? We dream of thinking about work, of being entangled in the struggle to make a living. We dream of having children, families, and endless responsibilities. We dream of striving, of enduring so much suffering and hardship. But do you realize that all of this is just a dream? None of it truly belongs to us. Can we recognize this? If we simply observe and understand that none of this is truly who we are, we can awaken our life essence. If we turn inward and observe, asking, who is speaking this voice? Who is the one speaking now? Simply by observing in this way, if we can recognize that the voice speaks on its own, we will come to a profound realization. We will see that it operates by itself, and in that moment, the illusion will break. We will shed tears, seeing the truth for the first time, that we have been caught in this grand play, wearing masks as men, as women, playing roles in this theater of life. Do you know that our life essence has no form? It merges seamlessly with the clear, empty space before us, extending throughout the entire universe. This clear, empty space in front of us, this is where everything exists. Air, oxygen, and carbon dioxide all reside within this clear, empty space. When the air moves, what happens? Wind is created, isn't it? If the air moves very quickly and powerfully, it creates storms, hurricanes, or tornadoes, correct? Air moving at such high speeds can destroy everything in its path. Yet, no matter how fierce, it cannot destroy the clear, empty space. Do you see this? Can you understand it? The clear, empty space remains untouched, no matter how powerful the forces within it may be. This is the nature of the essence we speak of, unshakable and indestructible. Air, storms, earth, water, trees, people, and all living beings exist within the clear, empty space. The stars, the sun, black holes, specks of dust, countless celestial bodies, the entire universe and every galaxy, all of them reside within this clear, empty space. Darkness exists within it, and so does light. Everything arises, changes, and eventually dissolves. The sun comes into existence and then disintegrates. Stars collide, explode, and fade away. All material elements arise and ultimately break apart. Yet there is one nature that remains unchanged, untouched. It is the clear, pure emptiness. This is the original essence, the primordial element. Everything exists within this clear, empty space, which is the foundation, the origin of all. Do you understand this? It is within this pure, empty essence that everything arises, abides, and dissolves. It is as though trees emerge from the earth. The earth is the primordial element, the foundation, the base. A tree grows, taking time to mature, flourish, bloom, and bear fruit. It becomes large and magnificent, but eventually the tree ages and dies, returning to the earth once more. No matter how many trees rise from the earth, in the end they all age, die, and disintegrate, becoming part of the earth again. Isn't that true? They arise from the earth and ultimately return to it. All living beings, including our bodies and the bodies of animals, walk upon the earth, live upon it, and in the end, our bodies too will age, grow ill, and perish. Human and animal bodies will return to the earth from which they came. Anything that is born upon the earth must ultimately dissolve and return to it. The earth itself, however, remains unchanged. It is not affected by what arises or dissolves upon it. The earth is the foundation, the base upon which all life depends. Everything throughout the universe arises from the primordial essence, which is profoundly clear and pure. It is the base, the foundation. All things originate from this clear, empty essence, and they undergo constant transformation, eventually dissolving. Then they coalesce once more into new forms, only to change, decay, and disintegrate again, repeating the cycle endlessly. Stars are formed, transform, and then collapse. Whatever shapes or forms arise, they are all transient, appearing and dissolving within the clear, empty essence. Even if an atomic bomb were detonated in this space, destroying stars and everything within its reach, it could not harm the clear, pure emptiness, the primordial essence. This clear essence is indivisibly united with all things. It is the origin, the foundational element. We too are life essence. Imagine if we had no body. Do you see how there would be no suffering? We are this essence, without form or body, neither coming nor going, merging seamlessly with all existence. There is no movement, no form, and no boundaries within this essence. It simply is. The body exists to be used in this conceptual world, in this human realm. The voice, too, exists for use in this world, but in the pure essence, there is no voice. It does not require sound, nor does it need a form. The life essence is entirely self-sufficient, needing nothing. However, in this human world, communication relies on voice, on mental imagery, and on emotions. In this world, emotions like satisfaction, dissatisfaction, and calmness shape interactions. When things align with our thoughts and desires, we feel happiness. When they don't, we feel suffering. Sometimes we feel indifferent. Human life is bound by emotions, which we use as a medium of connection. But do you know that in the life essence, emotions are unnecessary? In that essence, there are no emotions. It transcends them entirely, existing beyond the need for feelings or attachments. It simply is, pure, complete, and free. Do you know that in the human world, perception is essential? The sound of my voice is reaching you now, and you are perceiving it, aren't you? This perception is a function of the life essence. It is merely a function, not the life essence itself. Perception is a tool. The sounds, mental images, emotions, and awareness of perception, all these are simply functions that arise from the life essence. They are tools designed for use in the human world. We see because of the function of perception. We hear sounds because perception enables it. It operates on its own. We smell because perception recognizes scents. We taste because perception detects flavors. We feel cold or heat because perception senses them. It is the same with every thought in the mind, every memory and every emotion. This essence performs the function of perceiving them all. However, these are just tools. They exist solely for use in this world, nothing more. They are not the essence itself. They are simply mechanisms through which the essence interacts with the human. In the clear, empty, pure life essence, it is as though it exists in another dimension. But do not label it as a dimension. It is not a dimension. It is the primordial essence, the origin of all. You could call it the zero dimension. Within it there is no time, no distance, and nothing else. It is supremely pure, infinitely clear, and completely free of suffering. It is filled with boundless joy, contentment, radiance, and lightness. It is perpetually awake, self-sustaining, and utterly magnificent. This essence is eternal and ever-present. It exists with us at all times, yet we fail to notice or pay attention to it. Instead, we rely on sounds, mental images, emotions, and the function of perception, tools meant for navigating this human world. But within the pure essence, these tools are unnecessary. It transcends this world entirely, free from all dependencies. The way to access this life essence is simple. Do not cling to this voice. Just see that the voice speaks on its own, that it thinks in the mind. Simply observe within, notice it thinking, as if it were a playful activity. In truth, all you need to do is listen to my teachings. Listen every day, listen constantly, even until you fall asleep. Let my voice echo within you, reverberating in your consciousness all the time. As you listen, you will begin to feel lighter, freer. The more you listen, the lighter and clearer you will feel. This is your life essence breaking free from these conditions. Keep listening, and understanding will gradually grow. Suppose you reach 25% understanding already, you will feel lighter, freer, perhaps even moved to tears. Keep listening until you realize the truth. There is no self. This voice is not yours. A profound insight will emerge. This voice is the one assigning meaning to everything. This body exists because of the voice that labels it, saying, this is an arm, this is a leg. Yet these parts of the body do not call themselves anything. This voice declares, that is a house, even though the object has no name. It labels something a wall, even though it has no name. The voice says, this is our car, but the car itself has no name. It says, This is a tamarind tree, this is a banana tree, but these things, too, are nameless. It is this voice that creates meaning and labels, but the essence itself is untouched by such constructs. Recognize this, and the voice will lose its grip, allowing the life essence to shine through. Take a moment to observe. Sweep your gaze from left to right, looking across this entire world. Notice what happens. There is only pure awareness, empty awareness without stories, without anyone being aware. It knows by itself. Can you observe this? It hears sounds by itself. Right now, observe this moment. It hears sounds on its own, doesn't it? If you simply observe, just observe within, and listen to my teachings often, you will start to notice it hears on its own. It truly hears on its own. Then ask yourself, where is the me in this? Keep asking this question until the life essence answers by itself. You'll see that the voice speaking now, it speaks by itself. It truly speaks on its own. It thinks on its own. Emotions arise on their own, and they fade away on their own. You don't need to do anything. So why are we foolishly suffering because of this voice? Why do we become trapped in the suffering that brings us to tears? Why do we cling to these emotions of suffering? These emotions arise on their own and fade on their own, which shows that they are not truly ours. As this understanding grows, you will feel lighter, clearer, and tears may flow. When the release begins, whether at 25%, 50%, or 75%, you will keep understanding more and more, realizing that nothing is truly you. This understanding deepens, tears flow, and the release continues until it becomes constant. Eventually, the life essence will completely break free. Here's an example. Imagine you serve yourself some food and sit at the table. The table is full of dishes. Fried garlic pork looks delicious, and stir-fried morning glory also looks tempting. As you see the food, your mouth starts to water. You decide to take a piece of fried garlic pork to taste. As you place it in your mouth, your tongue senses the texture while you chew, and there is a sensation of deliciousness. It perceives the taste on its own. Can you observe this? If you notice that it perceives on its own and understand it in that moment of awareness, you'll see that it is the perception itself that recognizes the taste. Then the mind assigns value and meaning, creating the thought, "This is so delicious." A voice arises in your mind. At that moment, the voice, the perception, and the act of sensing all occur simultaneously. If you observe this exact moment right now and see that it perceives on its own, while also thinking and assigning meaning on its own, your life essence will sever its attachments entirely. When it sees the truth that these sensations and thoughts are not you, it will recognize that these functions are not the life essence. Once you realize this, your life essence, the true you, will break free completely. It will feel as though you've been pulled away from the very concept of being a person, revealing the profound truth of your existence. It is as if we, as the life essence, empty, clear, and an intensely concentrated energy, enter into a robot. Once we inhabit this robot, our energy flows through its wires, and these wires carry electrical currents to power its programs and microprocessors. The system begins to process and operate, loading data stored in its memory. Suddenly, we start to recall we are human. Even though it's a robot, we believe, I am human. Oh, I am a man. Oh, I am a woman. This is my family. This is my home. Memories start to surface, and all the data comes together. Then there is the sense of being able to see everything. The robot begins to move, opening its eyes, hearing sounds, smelling scents, tasting flavors, feeling sensations. It starts to move its body, and its systems begin functioning. It remembers everything, learns everything and stores all of it in memory. It learns and records, holding on to the belief, I am this, I am that, creating countless stories and identifying with them completely. One day, when the life essence awakens, when we guide it to awaken, observe closely. The body functions on its own. Then ask, who is speaking this voice? Who is imagining these thoughts? Why do emotions arise on their own and fade away on their own? Are emotions working by themselves? Notice that awareness arises by itself. It perceives on its own. It sees by itself, hears by itself, smells by itself, tastes by itself, and senses everything on its own. It thinks on its own, speaks on its own, and experiences emotions on its own. Then ask yourself, where is the me in all of this? When the life essence realizes this truth, it begins to reverse its attachment. It recognizes that if these functions are not me, then where is the me? This realization deepens, and the life essence comes to understand its true nature as pure, clear emptiness. It sees that none of these things are truly me. In that moment, the life essence breaks free. It transcends and awakens to its true nature. Imagine that when the life essence finally cuts ties, no longer clinging or attaching to the knowledge of the robot it inhabits, it is as if the life essence escapes from the robot entirely. Do you know what happens when the life essence no longer depends on the robot? There is no knowledge left. Once we leave the robot, all the understanding and information previously stored within it remains with the robot. Likewise, all knowledge resides entirely within this world. When we leave this world, all the knowledge the robot once acquired, what it learned, experienced, and understood, remains part of the world. But when the life essence breaks free, we, as the life essence, come to see the truth. We realize that we are one with the infinite emptiness of the entire universe. When we become one with the infinite universe, we see the truth. There is nothing here. The life essence no longer needs a body, nor does it need a voice to communicate, because it communicates by merging seamlessly with all that exists. All of us are life essence, inherently one with everything. This oneness enables communication without words or forms. It no longer requires food, nor does it require a body. It simply is, in perfect harmony with all that is. When there is no physical body, there is no need for clothing, no need for possessions like a home or a car, no need to earn money, no need to eat. There is no conflict, no destruction, no anger, hatred, or revenge. There is no language, no spoken words, no mental images, no emotions, no reactions of any kind. What remains is pure clarity, absolute purity, and it is supremely magnificent. When this truth is realized, we understand everything. Why do we fight, argue, destroy, or harm one another? There is nothing that is truly us or ours. Once this is understood, it releases us completely. Tears may flow, and we may weep, as the realization is profound and boundless. It is something truly extraordinary. We come to see the truth that we are not human as we once believed. What we understood to exist as a self was never truly real. It's as if we were deceived, living in a dream world. But when we awaken, we realize that none of it truly exists. Everything we once thought of as ourselves dissolves completely. We see the truth. We are pure essence, and in this realization, there is no suffering at all. Understanding this truth compels me to share it with everyone in this world. That's why I've created these recordings, to give us all the chance to hear and understand. For anyone who listens, within 7 days or 7 months, they will come to experience this essence of life themselves. We must remember not to cling, not to think. Simply listen and follow with an open heart. Your role is only to listen and follow, like an empty cup ready to receive. Just understand again and again, deeper and deeper. Make a commitment to yourself. From now until the realization of life's essence, dedicate yourself to listening to these teachings alone, continuously and wholeheartedly. Set this intention for yourself. Commit further to awakening. Observe inwardly and see clearly that the voice speaking is not you. The thinking that arises is not you. Realize that thoughts are not yours. They function on their own. Recognize that mental images are not you either. They arise and work naturally. Understand that these are not yours or of you. See clearly that this voice, these images, these emotions, they arise and dissolve on their own. They are not your emotions. They belong to nature, not to you. Realize that this awareness itself is simply aware, on its own, without being you. Right now, you're hearing my voice, but there's no need to try to hear it. It's being heard on its own, isn't it? So, where is the self in this? Let the essence of life answer by itself. Don't analyze, don't conclude, just listen and understand, again and again, until it begins to release. It will let go bit by bit, becoming lighter, freer and clearer, until everything is completely released. There will no longer be any sense of heaviness. What remains is only lightness, clarity, and absolute purity. Nothing else remains, just profound purity. When we fully break free with all our heart, we will understand what it's like to awaken after a long, deep sleep. We've been dreaming for 1,000,000 years, but when we finally wake up, we'll see it clearly. It was all a dream. Now, in this awakening, we can declare, I'm awake now. I'm no longer dreaming. I understand everything. Nothing in this world was ever truly real. And in that moment of realization, there is profound peace. Upon waking, we are free from everything. It's like waking from a nightmare we believed was real for countless years, only to realize it was never real at all. This is how it feels. Since the day we were born, no one has ever explained or pointed out these truths to us. But imagine, after we have realized this, that nothing at all is truly us, how we will share and teach others. We will tell them that the voice speaking is not ours. This voice cannot be grasped. It arises and fades away on its own. It is merely a tool used in this world, but it is not who we are. We are the essence of life, empty, clear, pure, the original source. Even when this body dies, the essence of life never dies. The voice we use is meant only for this world. Within the essence of life, there is no voice, no need for sound. Sounds exist solely for this world. Mental images, too, are tools for this world. Emotions are also meant for use in this world. Even the act of perceiving is just a function of awareness that operates within this realm. All of these, thoughts, sounds, emotions, perceptions, are merely the outer ripples of the mind. But the essence of life, or the true mind, is not connected to these things at all. It is one with the infinite, boundless clarity of the universe. Once we understand this, we teach others the same truth. Do you know what will happen when everyone listens to my recordings or truly understands the essence of life? When they see that nothing is truly us, there will be no arrogance, no pride. The sense of being superior, of being the best, the richest, the most powerful, of wanting to destroy everything, to possess everything, or to rule the world, none of this will remain. Instead, there will be only clarity, free of doubt, and a deep knowing in the heart that this will be our final lifetime. We won't return to be reborn again. There will arise a desire to give everything back to the world one last time, to help everyone break free. It will become a heartfelt wish to explain, to point out this understanding to the world. We'll want everyone to listen to these recordings, to listen continuously, every day, to listen to everything, and to share them widely. Share them with everyone, every day. When people listen, they will start speaking the same language. They will begin to understand how nothing can truly be us. As they listen repeatedly, there may come a moment when tears begin to flow. They will ask, "Why have I been so blind?" They will see that the voice speaks on its own. They will keep understanding deeper and deeper that even the awareness they experience is not themselves. Emotions are not them. Thoughts are not them. Tears will flow as they break free from the identity of being human. There will be no more doubt, and they will know in their heart that they will not be reborn again. They will know fully and completely that there is no true self. With this understanding, arrogance and pride will vanish entirely, leaving only purity. However, if someone reaches this point but still displays arrogance or pride, claiming, "I am this, I am that, I am everything," it shows they are still entangled in thought. Do you see? As long as we continue to fabricate meaning, assign value, and depend on this voice or the endless cycle of thoughts, we have not yet truly arrived. When we truly reach the essence, there will be no sense of being anything. What remains is only purity. Once the sense of being something disappears, it feels as though we've transcended the world. There is no longer a feeling of existing in it. In that clarity, we wonder, why do we fight? Why do we display arrogance and pride? Why do we accumulate wealth in excess? Instead, we will use our resources to create opportunities for everyone in this world. We'll share with those lacking income, educate those without knowledge, and help those who don't yet understand the essence of life to discover it. Spread my recordings across the world so everyone can listen and awaken. Teach everyone to observe within, to see that there is nothing that truly belongs to us. Don't let emotions cause suffering. Don't let sounds, mental images, or any sensations bring pain. Recognize them for what they are, and be free. It's quite amusing, isn't it? Imagine a fire burning in front of you. Most of us, instead of keeping our distance, walk up to the fire, pick it up, and hug it. Naturally, the fire burns us. It's hot, and we cry out, "Help me! What should I do? I'm burning!" But how could it not burn? Fire is hot by nature. Why pick it up and hug it in the first place? Do you see the metaphor here? Picture this. You're at home, feeling peaceful, sweeping the house, when suddenly a thought arises. Without realizing it, you start thinking about a co-worker you dislike. A mental image of them appears in your mind. Are you aware you're thinking? Most of us aren't. The image arises and you silently say to yourself, "I hate this person. I hate them so much. What should I do? I don't want to see them. Maybe I should deal with them somehow. I hate them so much. How can I get rid of them from work? Maybe I can have them fired so they won't be around me anymore. They're always teasing me, criticizing me. I can't stand them." Now, notice what's happening. You're starting to feel angry. You're thinking, imagining, and fueling the fire. Why are they in my shift? Why don't they move to another one? Why don't they quit and work somewhere else? I hate them. They always say bad things about me. Can you hear this voice inside? Right now you're engaging with your thoughts, playing along with them. You're the one who conjured their image all on your own while you were peacefully sweeping the house. There was no issue, no conflict, just you and your broom. But then you started thinking about that person, silently muttering to yourself, and the tension began to build. Thoughts led to stress, anger, and frustration. Isn't this foolish? We cling to these thoughts and emotions, playing along with them, and end up suffering unnecessarily. We can't sleep. We feel stressed. Isn't it absurd? And all because we're caught up in believing that we are this human form, entangled in these fleeting states of mind. Let's try again. Understand this clearly. We are the essence of life, a clear, empty energy, like a transparent, luminous form of pure energy. This is who we truly are. To understand ourselves, we needed to create a tool, a way to perceive. So we created a faculty, a function, an experience that could sense and respond. This is a kind of energetic reaction, an ability to perceive when something comes into contact with it. Initially, we were just a clear, empty essence. When something interacted with us, this perceptive faculty emerged. But this faculty of perception is not us. It is merely a tool, a function. Think of it like the sun. The sun radiates light, doesn't it? The light functions on its own. It is simply an expression of the sun. The sun doesn't tell its light, "Shine now." It doesn't command it. The light is simply a natural attribute of the sun. Similarly, the sun emits heat as a characteristic of its nature, spreading warmth effortlessly. Do you see this? Even the gravitational force of the sun, which holds the planets in orbit, is a natural property of the sun's presence. These attributes, light, heat, gravity, are functions or expressions of the sun's nature. The sun itself doesn't think about or instruct these processes. They happen naturally as its inherent qualities. In the same way, the perceptive faculty we've created is simply a natural expression of our essence, a tool to experience and interact with the world. But it is not us. Do you see? In the same way, our life element, which is empty, clear, and pure, is like this. Our life element has manifestations that function to perceive on their own. It performs the act of perception by itself. When something comes into contact with it, the manifestations naturally perform their role of perceiving. Then, there is another manifestation that assigns value and meaning to what is perceived. However, these manifestations cannot fully understand everything. As a result, our life element drifts toward the body. Without a body, it cannot achieve complete understanding. It must seek a body to learn and come to know itself. Do you understand? For us to understand ourselves, we need tools to rely on. It's like going underwater. We need equipment, don't we? We need a submarine, a life jacket, or an oxygen tank, right? Only then can we go underwater. Do you understand? In the same way, for the life element to understand itself, for us to know that we are the life element, we create conditions of perception and then come to reside in this body. Once we inhabit a body, whether as a sea creature, a land animal, a bird, an air-dwelling being, a being beyond the earth, or even as a human, when we obtain a body, we become preoccupied with survival. From birth, no one teaches us. Parents are simply life elements inhabiting a body, just like us. Everyone on this planet is a cluster of pure, clear life elements, temporarily residing in various forms, whether as animals or humans. Life elements are everywhere, inhabiting countless bodies. The purpose of the life element is to come and learn about itself. However, residing in an animal form does not allow for this self-discovery. Only humans have the opportunity to know themselves. Yet, even among humans, this is only possible for those who encounter someone who can teach them the essence of this truth. We are fortunate to listen to the recording I shared about the essence of life. We are the life element, empty, clear, and pure. Truly, we are incredibly fortunate. When we listen, we begin to understand. Are we not human? That's right, we are not human. The life element doesn't come or go, isn't born or dies. It is incredibly clear, a life essence without form, merging seamlessly with the universe. This clear, pure, and empty life element has no concept of male or female. Yet we are deluded into believing we are men or women. Our life essence clings, it has already attached itself. When our life essence inhabits this body, we delight in thinking we are human. Isn't that ignorance? The life element cannot be human. Suppose this human body dies, and we take on the form of a sea creature. We would again become deluded, clinging to the idea of being a sea creature. And so it continues. When the body of the sea creature dies and we are born as an underground creature, a land animal or a bird, we again become deluded, thinking we are that being. And so it continues. In the end, whatever form we take, wake up. Do we know that we are the life element, empty, clear, and incredibly pure? We have never truly been born into this world. What exists are merely the manifestations and characteristics of our life element, functioning as this voice right now. When it inhabits, it clings and attaches itself. It's like energy sent to latch onto the body. Once we claim this body as ours, it refuses to let go. We create a prison, trapping ourselves inside, unable to escape. And now, we're in trouble. Until we realize that we are a pure, clear essence, we can escape the cage any time we choose. If we truly understand we are a pure, clear essence, we can simply leave the cage because we have no form. But because we don't know this, we mistakenly believe we have a form. We then believe we are human. This body is merely a vessel, and it won't last long. Eventually it will die. Yet we cling to the belief that we won't grow old, fall ill, or die. When the body ages, we suffer. When it gets sick, when it has cancer, we suffer. Why do we cry? This body was born to grow old, to fall ill, and eventually to die. And as we approach death, we suffer once again. Wake up, start again, start anew. Wake up. We are the life element. We have never been human. Do you understand? We are only temporarily dwelling here. Because no one has ever taught us this, we remain unaware. The life element has no gender, and it has never been born through parents. Try removing the entire universe. Erase the stars, the sun, the black holes, darkness and light. Erase it all. What remains is pure, empty clarity, vast and pristine. We are the life element that is one with everything. It is the original essence, empty, clear and pure. We are this essence. Was this essence ever born? Did it have parents? No, it did not. Isn't that right? We are this essence. Remember, the life element has no parents, no relatives, no spouse, and no children. Yet we mistakenly think we are human, believing that we have children, that we are someone's child, that we have parents and relatives. We are deluded by this constructed world. It's like wearing a mask and becoming convinced we are the role we play. It's like watching a movie or a play. We become immersed in the story. We believe we are the hero, the heroine. We believe the name of the character is truly ours. When the heroine is slapped, attacked, or has her lover taken away, we feel anger, hatred, and might even want to call and reprimand the actor. But we fail to realize that we are simply caught up in the illusion. We are engrossed in this world of illusion, this fabricated world. This world is an illusion, and we are immersed in it. Yet we are the life element, which has nothing to do with this world at all. We mistakenly believe that we have this name, this surname. Look at this. The pure, empty and clear life element has no name, do you understand? It has no form either. Yet we believe we have a form. We even believe we are beautiful or handsome. Wake up, humans. When will we finally awaken? We suffer so much. Why? This voice is not ours. It is merely a tool that exists in this world. Mental images are also tools meant to be used in this world. Emotions, too, are tools to be used here. Yet we suffer, we cry, overwhelmed with sorrow, saying, "They left us, they abandoned us." Wake up. These emotions are not ours. Understand this. No one has ever left us because we never truly existed. We are the pure, empty clarity, the original essence, the life element that is incredibly pure and clear. Simply observe. Observe within your heart. Listen to my recordings often and observe these emotions. Do you see the emotion now? It is crying. Do you see this emotion? It doesn't belong to anyone. It is a natural phenomenon. Every body, every form on this earth belongs to no one. Even our body is not ours. Sooner or later this body will die, perhaps even tomorrow. It is the nature of the body to be born, to age, to grow ill, and to die. It is always ready to die, always ready to stop functioning. If we truly understand what I am pointing out, it will be as though we have died before death. Before this body passes away, we will have already let go of it. If we understand that this voice, this body, is not us, then we realize the voice speaks by itself. We simply observe and see that whatever is being said, it is speaking on its own. It thinks on its own. It imagines on its own. It experiences emotions on its own, and those emotions fade away on their own. What is aware of this simply knows by itself. Let's try something simple. Listen to me from the moment you wake up until you fall asleep. Just observe. Notice how it is not you. Focus on this principle. How is it not you? How does it know by itself? Just observe. When food enters the mouth, it recognizes the taste on its own. If you can see this, it will break apart completely. For example, as you're sitting and eating, suddenly a thought arises. After finishing this meal, I'll go to the mall. Do you notice the voice that speaks this thought? You're still eating now. It's not yet time to go to the mall. But the mind thinks, I'll go to the mall, relax in the cool air conditioning, maybe watch a movie or buy some necessities. Do you notice this voice thinking like that? If you can see the voice thinking, you'll realize it thinks on its own. This is what it means to let nature observe nature. Just observe and see that it thinks on its own, imagines on its own, feels emotions on its own, and knows on its own. There is no self. Observe carefully. How is it that there is no self? Focus on this principle. Make a firm resolution. We will no longer foolishly cling to this voice, these mental images, these emotions, or this awareness. We will see clearly that they are natural phenomena, not us, and follow through with this resolution. We will observe and reflect in this way. How can we see that this voice is not us? If we can see this, it's over. We must see clearly that the voice is not us. We must see that the mental images that arise are not us. We must see that emotions function on their own. They are not us. Clearly observe that what is aware knows on its own. It perceives smells, tastes, touches, sounds, and sights. It sees and knows by itself. We will come to see this. If we hold firmly to this principle, we will recognize that yes, it truly knows by itself. The voice speaks on its own. There is no self at all. Where is this self, anyway? Then it will reflect back to the life element, and the life element will respond on its own, saying, there is no self. When our life element accepts this truth, that there is truly nothing that is us, it will break free. And when it does, there will be such lightness, such freedom. How could it not feel light? We have no form. Think about when we overthink and become stressed. Doesn't it feel heavy? Thinking and thinking, over and over, until it becomes so heavy, so painful, that our head aches and our whole being feels sore. It's as if we're crushed under a rock, as if we're burned by fire and then buried under stones. This is the weight that comes from engaging with these conditions. But whenever we free ourselves from these conditions, there is lightness, freedom. It feels as though we've escaped this world, as though we've stepped out of the world entirely. We become pure, empty clarity that encompasses the entire universe. That's what we are, Nothing of us remains. Let it all go, and there will be no suffering. When we reach this state, there will be only the feeling of wanting to help everyone else break free in the same way. Let's not fight or argue anymore. Let's help each other. Listen to the recordings and understand our life element. Each day, talk with one another. Ask about the life element. How is it? Are you awake yet? Have you broken free? Do you feel light and free? Have tears flowed yet? There will be only extraordinary stories to share with one another. There will be no killing, no bombing, no destruction. Why destroy one another when we know the truth, that there is nothing that is truly us? This body is not ours. Suppose we have 5 years left to live. Soon we will die. So let's make these next 5 years the very best. Let's help one another. Let's share and lift each other up. Let's bring prosperity to everyone one last time. And then none of us will be born again. The life element will have freed itself from these conditions, from the body, from thoughts, from emotions, and from awareness. We will realize for ourselves that we will no longer be born. When this essence no longer takes birth, nothing can make us be born again. This will be our last time on this earth. It will bring benefits to the world. There will be no more wars, no killing, no destruction, no anger, hatred, competition, or stealing. None of it will exist, because there is nothing that is truly us. There will only be sharing. Those who have more will share with those who have less, offering help and support. There will be no fighting over land, because the land belongs to this earth. It doesn't belong to anyone. This house is not ours. The land, everything, there is nothing that belongs to us. Even this body is not our body. The voice that is speaking right now is not our voice. It is simply something that serves a purpose in this world. Nothing more. But we are no longer these things. Once we break free, we will realize that we are none of these at all. We are not the program that is the voice. We are not the program that is the image. We are not the program that is the emotion. And we are not the program that is this awareness either. None of these programs are us. We are the essence, the element that is incredibly clear and pure, seamlessly merging with the universe. And we will come to know for ourselves what it means to no longer be born. And with that, there will be no more suffering. Let us conclude this recording here. May this serve as encouragement for everyone to realize the truth of their life element swiftly and instantaneously. May all beings achieve this realization.